Hi everybody, Robert Dyer, and welcome to the Robert Dyer channel Christmas Countdown, where tonight we have a very special product from a very special brand, and that is Coca-Cola. And holy smokers, they have a special holiday drink, unlike Mountain Dew, unlike Pepsi, unlike Dr. Pepper, and so many others that have apparently canceled Christmas for this year and the last few years. Coca-Cola is actually putting out a holiday creamy vanilla. And this doesn't sound like the most mind-blowing possibility they could have gone with. And it's a little bit confusing because, you know, they have vanilla Coke, which is one of my favorite beverages in the world, along with regular Coca-Cola and pretty much any variation of Coca-Cola they make. What the creamy and holiday modifiers on the name mean will only become apparent in the testing of this beverage. And the packaging is very understated, as you would expect from Coca-Cola. They don't go to the lengths that Mountain Dew does with all the artwork and everything, so basically you get some stripes. It's very reminiscent of vanilla Coke, except you get some stripes and you get this, what's not just a swirl of, if you look closely you maybe can see that there's a little caramel color, as they would call it, in the swirl, suggesting that it is Coke and whipped cream mixed together. But it's interesting they don't say holiday whipped cream vanilla or holiday whipped cream, something like that. In fact, they're very, very, very defensive about telling you that there is no, it's a big, relatively big print here on the back that says contains no dairy in big letters. Well, it would have been interesting if they had put it in. You know, if we could get more beverages that had what I want is more soda fountain style beverages. And there's been a lot of talk about this in recent years of using the phrase dirty sodas, which I don't know who the marketing people are, but fire them. If you have a consumable product, don't ever call it dirty. That's about the dumbest thing you could ever say. But to use their lingo, dirty sodas have been promised for some time now, and there have been some little efforts here and there, mainly by, I think, Pepsi and Dr. Pepper have put a few out, but smartly not using the term dirty sodas, but also not really delivering a, what I would call a soda fountain product, which would be something a little more than just adding a fruit flavor to it. So that's why I like this idea about at least the suggestion of whipped cream, that you're getting more into the old drugstore soda fountain that the New World Order wiped those out in short order, apparently. So we don't have much to go on the packaging here. I will say that Coca-Cola is one of my favorite beverages, and it's really remarkable in terms of how long it's been around, that people that are my age or younger than me have nostalgia about Coke when they were a kid, and old men have nostalgia about Coke when they were a kid. It's never really gotten, never gone out of style, so to speak. Never been unpopular, except when Pepsi tried to overtake them for a little while in the 80s there with some very smart marketing decisions. But just even the aroma of Coca-Cola, it's a wonderful nostalgic scent. It would be a great cologne if they would put it out, but nobody asked me. Let's see if we can go ahead and there she blows. Get this top off. Why is it that some caps want to do this, where they want to go to a tilt? They're supposed to just twist off flat, but well, there is that wonderful Coca-Cola aroma. Even when you're sick, it's if you've been terribly ill and you can finally get your hands on a big cup of Coca-Cola, that wonderful scent, and there's nothing more refreshing in the world. So I'm mainly smelling Coca-Cola. Let's pour this out into the finest bachelor's glassware. You can see that I'm going to get the cap back on here. Nothing worse than cold French fries and flat soda. Verboten. As you can see, there's no creamy color. There's no holiday color, which was pretty apparent from the clear bottle, I must admit. There we have that. It's like a scratch and sniff sticker they ought to have of Coca-Cola. Well, all I can do is say, let's go ahead and see how it tastes. Well, it's not, certainly not as super creamy as the big swirl would suggest on the package here. And then as far as holiday, I'm not picking up any holiday. What that would be, I'm not even sure. My mind would go to it being some sort of a spice added when you say holiday. A eggnog type of spice. Eggnog Coke, I can see it now, but they ought to do that. It's just the slightest hint of a whipped cream flavor, and in that I mean there's a pretty strong vanilla flavor, but vanilla is not whipped cream, so whipped cream is something more of a, there are more ingredients in whipped cream than just a flavor like that, so that's somewhat coming across in it, but it's not very strong. Well, I would say that to me this is more like what I have kind of suggested Coca-Cola do with Vanilla Coke, which is amp up the vanilla flavor a little bit. You know how cherry Coke is, I've talked about it before, but cherry Coke, it's really got a punch to it. There's no question it's cherry, and the cherry is right in there boxing with the cola flavor, whereas Vanilla Coke is the vanilla is very laid back in the background. It's definitely a delicious flavor, but it could be increased, and that's pretty much what's happening here with this holiday creamy vanilla, is that if you like Vanilla Coke, I think you're going to really like this. So I really like it, therefore, but it's not delivering much in the creamy department in terms of whipped cream, ice cream, whatever it would be. And there's absolutely nothing in the holiday department. So basically, I think they just sort of threw that on there, holiday, because they're putting it out at this time. But having said that, I like that they add the holiday to have a holiday drink here. And this is certainly something that if you put this out, I don't know if this comes in the big bottles or not. They're really strange about the way they distribute stuff. Like this, You can still get the orange vanilla Coke if you get groceries delivered here, but you cannot get the holiday creamy vanilla delivered, but it's in the store. And then there's always a question about what sizes it's going to come in. Now this I got a box of them, and I've got some bottles of it as well. So they have these single 20-ounce bottles, which I like. I like the 20-ounce much better than the Klaus Schwab 16.5-ounce slim bottles you often see now. But if you could put a big bottle of this out, or I guess even just you get the cans and put them out on the table or whatever, then I think people will be pretty interested to see what you've got there at your holiday party. But having said that, I think if you're expecting a super special holiday drink, a holiday drink that we're all going to look back in 5 or 10 years like some of the Mountain Dew Christmas or Game Fuels or something like that, and you look back and say, oh, I wish they would bring that back again, or you remember that salted caramel Pepsi, I still remember that. I don't think we're going to think much about this in 5 or 10 years, other than if the other drinks they're putting out then are worse, then we'll say, well, we wish we had this one back. So I'm glad they have this. I wouldn't mind that. I always wanted more vanilla flavor, and this has more of it. So for my evaluation of this, I would say if you are the regular, ordinary person and you're not a fanatic about vanilla Coke, then you're going to be hovering in the 3 to 4 star out of 5 area in your personal review. As someone who loves vanilla Coke and wants more vanilla in it, I'm going to go ahead and give this a 5 stars out of 5 rating, just for what it is. Not so much as what it could have been as a holiday drink, but as a super vanilla Coke. I would certainly recommend this for your holiday parties, but it's not a flavor. When I think about it, if you're watching a holiday movie or something, it's not like the cranberry Mountain Dew where it's putting you in the holiday spirit. This is, Coca-Cola's a solid standby holiday drink. There's no question about it, and they have all their famous ads from Christmas, so it's already going to carry some Christmas nostalgia, so go ahead and drink it with the holiday movie. But I'm just saying it's not going to be something that's going to elevate the holiday experience because you're tasting some cranberry or pumpkin pie flavor that you would associate. So I hope you like this video. Share it with your friends. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next time, tomorrow, on this Christmas countdown. Bye, everybody.